Hello, and this is Bogas Reviews, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the DC Multiverse Collect and Connect Ares figure. I know I've been calling it a builder figure, but the correct term is Collect and Connect. So forgive me if I know I actually said that in quite a few of my reviews for this. So this is the Ares Collect and Connect figure, and this figure is very, very awesome. So before we take a look at him, let's take a look at the accessories that he comes with. So this just came with one of the figures. His sword came with one of the figures that came with his other pieces. And you did have to buy the Toys R Us exclusive Wonder Woman for his shield. Now, I didn't buy Manelope because I just wasn't a fan of the flaming swords that she came with. Because I think this one, his normal sword, looks awesome. It's got a lot of sculpting detail here on the handle. Right here. I like how this is actually just all black and has a dry brushing of gunmetal over it. Dry brushing. I think I said dry brushing. I really love how this sword looks. It goes from this dark gray color to like it's heating up into like it's glowing red. That looks really, really awesome. That just looks really, really awesome. I can't get over how awesome it looks. And this can fit in his right or left hand, which I really like. It gives you options for which hand you want him to have it in. So you can put it in his left hand if you want, like that. Or you can put it in his right hand. Or you can put it in his right hand. So now, his shield. Now this, it's a really rubbery kind of plastic that bends easily. And I'm just surprised of all the detail this has on. Look at all of this sculpted detail. That just looks really awesome. It's actually silver and has a dry brushing of both gunmetal and black over it. And just a little bit of brown right here. So Mattel went above and beyond with this shield accessory. The sculpting on this is amazing. So I really like that. And it can fit on his hand really easily. You just scoot it on like that. You can't actually hold these loops right here. You just have to slide it over his hand like that. So it does kind of stay on. But if you move it like that, it will fall off. But if you keep it up like this, it should stay on. So for Ares' face sculpt, he does have a head under this, I think it's a Minotaur skull. But I think this Minotaur skull looks awesome. The detail on it is great. It's originally just a light, kind of whitish gray kind of color, and has a dry brushing of dark gray over it, which just makes it look awesome. It's the same way with his horns. His horns are actually white and have a dry brushing of light gray over them. So I think that looks awesome. I think Ares just looks menacing. Just this figure looks menacing. And he does have a face under there, which you can barely see. You can just see his eyes right here and over here. But I kind of like to keep his head down like that. I thought it'd be cool. At first, I actually thought that his head was the Minotaur skull. But from what I've heard, this isn't actually how he appears in the movie. Or at least at the end of the movie. So I'm not really sure about that. Because again, I have not seen it. But his armor has a lot of sculpting detail to it. It's got a lot of scratches and dents in it. It has a dry brushing of both gunmetal and black over it, which looks really awesome. This is probably the best Build-A-Figure so far. I'm working on King Shark, which I only have 2 pieces of, which I think he'll probably knock this figure down, but so far, this is my favorite DC Multiverse Build-A-Figure. He's got these shoulder pads that look really awesome. He's got these keys right here sculpted into his, the belt loop right here, or the strap, his shoulder strap right here. It's got keys on them. I think that looks really awesome. He's got this fur skin over his shoulder, which looks really awesome. It's got some sculpting detail, but it has no pink detail on it. I would have preferred like a dry brushing of gray over. That would have made it look really awesome. And on his gauntlets right here, it's got a lot of sculpting detail too. These gauntlets look like they've been through battle. It's got a lot of scratches and dents sculpted in. And it's painted very nicely too, because you can see that in every scratch and every dent, it has that black on it. So I think that looks really, really nice. And down here, his loincloth has color to it too. It has lots of shading to it. It has that silver gunmetal kind of color dry brushed over a really, really dark gray. Kind of like a charcoal gray. It looks black, but it's actually charcoal gray. And on his, like, thigh pads, I guess, his thigh armor, it has more sculpting detail and paint detail on it. I'm just surprised that this figure is painted and sculpted so nicely. And I like the size of it too, because he towers over normal figures. Not by a lot, but he is the biggest Build-A-Figure so far. Again, don't have the King Shark yet, so. And down here, on his shin guards, I guess his shin guards is what you call them, it's silver, and then fades into black, which looks really, really awesome. Again, more scratches, indents sculpted in. And he has these leg wrappings right here too that's sculpted nicely. It has a texture to him too, kind of feels leathery. I think that's really awesome. So this figure is awesome. It's just the size of it and all the paint detail and sculpting detail. It just blew me away, honestly. So this figure, I would highly recommend it. I still wish I didn't have to buy 3 Wonder Woman figures to build this Ares figure. But I'm satisfied with this Build-A-Figure, so I really can't complain. So now I'm going to go over his articulation. He's got a ball-jointed head that can look up all the way, and down just a little bit. This jawbone right here does hinder him looking down, and it can't really move side to side because of this skin right here, this first skin, and his shoulder pad. He's got ball-jointed shoulders that can move out that far. I'm going to go ahead and take that off, that way I can show its articulation. It doesn't really hinder his articulation any. This right shoulder pad does just a little bit. He's got a swivel at the bicep, single jointed elbow, swivel at the forearm, and a swivel at the wrist. He's got a ball jointed diaphragm that can look back that far and down that far. He's got a swivel at the waist. He's got oops, that's not supposed to happen. This is a Build-A-Figure, so luckily, yep, it went back in. He has ball-jointed hips that can just about do a split. He can kick forward that far. He can kick back all the way. He's got a swivel at the thigh, single-jointed knee, and a swivel at the ankle. So this figure has a lot of articulation too. And depending on how you pose the figure, you can get around this armor of hindering his articulation. Like, I just pose him like that. So that way, the articulation really isn't hindered too much. It only hinders if you want to move his arms like all the way out. So it doesn't really hinder it that much, which really doesn't bother me. Just because this figure is so awesome. He's just really awesome. He has a Minotaur skull for a helmet. That just shouts awesome. So now, as for a size comparison, I'm going to compare them to... That always happens when I'm doing this. I bump it and then it falls over. So now, maybe I should hold them instead of, So this is the standard Wonder Woman figure. She's about 5 inches tall. So Ares is about 7.5 or 8 inches tall. So I think that looks really awesome because he's taller than Wonder Woman. And I think that looks really awesome. Here he is next to Hippolyta. Here he is next to Themyscira Wonder Woman. Here he is next to Cloaked Wonder Woman. And then here he is next to Steve Trevor. So he's even taller than Steve Trevor, because Steve Trevor is a 6-inch figure. So I think that's really awesome. He towers over the normal DC Multiverse figures too. So overall, I really, really love this figure. Just because of the sheer size of it, the accessories, the sculpting, the paint detail, and even the articulation. He's super articulated. So I would highly recommend this figure. Like I said, I didn't want to get 3 Wonder Woman figures, but to build this awesome thing, I would recommend it. So that's my review. And if you like this review, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.